and welcome to Mickey Art. My name's Michelle Edhouse, and just having a look through my paints and looking to see what I need to stock up, and I found this tin and it had its lid on and it was nicely sealed, and I opened it up and it's a scrapings tin. It's a leftovers tin that I made several weeks ago, and when I put my little sticky into it and went like this, it's still nice and runny. I have no idea if it's got silicone in or not, because I don't even remember making this. But what I am seeing is a number of different colours. So I thought, well, why not use it up? I saved it for a reason. Maybe today's the reason. So let's have a go. So what I've got here is an 8x10 canvas, and it has 4 little push pins in the bottom just to lift it up off the ground. And so let me zoom you in a little bit so that is front and center. The other thing I have here is some Mars Black, and Mars Black is a really good background. I don't want it to take over the painting, but I kind of have this start off with black and then kiss pour that in, and then maybe add some more black in as I come to the end again. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you don't know what a kiss pour is, it's where you've got 2 pots, and as you pour them you make the 2 streams of paint kiss before they hit the canvas. But let's see, I don't know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. Sorry, you probably can't see what's going on here. Ooh, that looks like copper at the bottom. Now that, my dear friends, looks kind of funky. I like it. Let's just zoom you in so you can see. Kind of seeing some maybe cells happening. Nothing that's jumping out saying there's a whole heap of silicone in there, but there is starting to be some cell action showing up. So let's torch it and see what happens. If I can get my torch to go. For those of you new to acrylic pouring, this is a butane torch. Butane being liquid gas. I have a few of them. They slowly die over time. There we go, there's one that works. And what we do is we run that flame, not touching the paint because that would burn the paint, but just gently above the paint, and it pops any bubbles, any air bubbles that are in there, but it also warms the paint a little bit, and which allows any silicone oil that's in the paint, and we add silicone oil intentionally normally, to rise up through the layers of paint and make what we know as the cells. So I am seeing some. They're not very obvious though, so let's just have a look. See these little dots in the paint? What causes those cells is as the silicone rises, because of course oil floats on water, it pushes its way up through the paint and leaves behind it a little trail. And sometimes you get multiple layers of paint that it comes up through, and you get some funky looking rings. So now that we have that, I'm just gonna tilt the canvas and just stretch that paint out. first one way. I've just got a bit of cardboard here just to sort of block it from falling off the canvas. It's called a corner catcher in the business. Oh, that's so delicate and yet so pretty. So I'm just going to now bring it back. I'm going to turn it around so that I've got a good handle on it and stretch it out the other way. So it looks like there was some green and some turquoise and maybe some gold, or I'm not even sure what was in this random pot. Just going to bring it back. Do I just want to leave it like that, or do I want to stretch it out to the side some more? I'm going to fill it up. So let's stretch it this way. Going to lose some of that prettiness as it rolls over itself. And just letting it roll down to fill up the whole canvas, and then take it back. And before I do that last corner, I've just noticed we've got this little bump, and that is no air bubble. That's definitely a chunky bit. And so I'm just going to take 2 push pins and use them kind of like tweezers and lift that chunky bit right there out of the paint. And I keep my chunky bits. I've only been keeping them for a few videos so far, but who knows, one day I might have a cup full of chunky bits and we'll see what that creates. Right, so again, before we go any further, just gonna, once you've stretched your paint out a little bit, if you torch over it again, it can sometimes bring up more cells. Not seeing any. Now I've got some paint left in here, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get my stick and scrape that paint, because you know how we lost a lot of that pretty stuff as it rolled over itself? What I'm going to do is just use up this paint to create a pathway for that pretty stuff to run on. Plus it uses up the last of the paint, right? Okay. Now having those push pins underneath keeps the canvas up off the ground, so as paint falls off, it can drip off and not stick your painting to the ground. And also make good handles for when you're tilting. So I'm just going to look around the sides and make sure that we've got all the corners and all the edges nicely covered. Oh, that zoomed in a bit, sorry. So just there, bring that down with my finger in that corner. Just making sure that they're all covered. You know what that looks like? Zoom you back in now. I've put you down there. It looks like an oil slick. We could use it as a what are those things called? Protest piece. The beauty of the sea is lost with the oil slick. What else is possible with oil slicks? What are you aware of? One more run over with the torch just to pop any leftover air bubbles. If you're getting this close to an oil slick with a torch, it might catch on fire. That wouldn't be so good, would it? Right. Well, I hope it dries that beautiful. And I'm not sure that you guys are seeing all the intricacies of colours through here. So let me get you down and show you around. Okay. As we get closer, look at the subtlety of colours. That's really, really yummy. I'm intrigued to see what this actually dries as, to be honest. I think it's a yellow. It really does look like an oil slick. Especially with it being white. I'd have to resin it to get this look. It's wet, not white. To get this look back again. There's a few little cells that have come back up since I did that last torching. There we go, look at that. Yummy! How does it get better than that? I like it. It's odd, it's weird, but I like it. I really like the subtlety of those colours. Really, really like it. Alright, my friends, I am going to let this dry and come back and show you the dried result in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so here it is. It's dry and it's, as usual, stayed basically the same. The colours they've darkened a little bit, muted a little bit more, and then intensified in the middle more. Can really see that green that I couldn't see before, so that's quite funky. It does to me look like a face or a head where their toupee's fallen forward. Maybe I should have done that bit in orange. Sorry. But I like it. I like it. I'm going to have a play in Photoshop with this because I think this bit here is about roughly the same as down here. And so if I can flip this and sit it up so that it's going the other way, I think we could make a repeating pattern of some description. So I'm going to have a play and I will insert that here. And now I'm going to carry on. So if you guys are enjoying my channel, I would love it if you subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this. If you didn't, that's totally fine too. You know, we all have our own points of view. And the only thing I ask, if you don't have a matching point of view, don't make me wrong. Don't make anybody wrong for having a different point of view to you. What if we all could have our own point of view and there be no judgment of other people's points of view? What would the world be like then? I'll leave you to ponder on that one. Come join us on Acrylic Pouring for Fun Facebook group if you're not already there. And I will see you tomorrow with another video. Bye-bye.